to Galaxy's Quest. I'm Galaxy. Today I actually want to talk about what happens in my house. So just a quick review from when I was little to when I moved out. Part two we'll have when I came back, um, when I moved back in. So much thing. I think most of what happened when I was little I kind of forgot, but there are a few things that kind of stuck with me. So let's start from the beginning. Um, the first memory I have of this place is actually the back room. A lot of the activity happens in the back room, the hallway, and my kitchen. Um, Basically, what happened in the back room was that was my playroom when I was little. That was my playroom, and I had a bunch of toys. Obviously, nothing scary. I never heard any scary stories growing up or anything. I did see a lot of shadows in that room. I do remember seeing those. However, I also remember that growing up, I heard a story about when I would play in that room, I would actually come out crying sometimes, telling my parents that the little kid, I don't know if it was male or female, didn't want to play with me anymore. And then out of nowhere, I never wanted to go back into that room. So obviously, my parents, they said it's your imagination, you're seeing things, you watch too much TV, blah, blah, blah. They shut it down quick. Um, However, throughout the years, I kept saying, okay, it's your imagination, it's not real, blah, blah, blah. But how do you explain so many shadows that you see out of the corner of your eyes or right in front of you, and then you're just like, did I really just see that? Or is my mind playing tricks on me, my eyes playing tricks on me? um I also remember trying to fall asleep and being so creeped out at the corner by my closet. I could never sleep with a closet door open, and not because I thought there was any monsters or anything. It was just this feeling I would have of somebody just standing outside of my closet, not inside, but outside of it. But somehow by closing the doors, I was able to see, any shadow or anything. And that was on a daily. I could not sleep with my door room closed until, I was a teenager and I was a little bit more brave and stuff. I do remember waking up a lot of times during the night, hearing footsteps, running in the hall. And at one point, I remember asking my mom, "Why are you running?" Because at this time she was sick, so she hardly would sleep. But then there was times where she actually did fall asleep, and that's when I would hear the running. She told me it wasn't her. I just left it at that. Maybe I was dreaming or anything. But it kept happening more and more and more. And it wasn't just one time. It was like throughout the year, I would say at least 10 times in a year. It's not that often, but it did happen enough to where it scared me, because it would happen from the room, my daughter's, what now is my daughter's room. Back then it was my playroom, to the kitchen or the living room, whatever. Um, and it was just like just real quick. And I would hear scratchings on the walls. I would hear knocking on walls. Um, I would. I remember hearing the cabinets of our kitchen open and close, as if somebody was getting something. Just open, close. But I was the only one in the house. Sometimes I would get left alone. Si eres Mexican, our parents don't pay babysitters. They just leave. No le abras a nadie. That sort of stuff. And obviously, being a kid, this was pretty scary. But the more it happened, the less afraid I was. So I kind of just got used to it now. Um, I remember having some friends over at my house to sleep over, and she would say that she would feel the tug on the blankets, um, or on her feet, like a little slight tug, not a lot, just like a slight tug, to the point where she never came back. She stopped talking to me. Haven't heard from her since. Selena, um, if you're watching this, I do apologize. I didn't mean to scare you, or my ghost, I'm pretty sure it didn't mean to scare you. I don't want to say it's a ghost because I never actually physically seen it, just shadows and stuff like that. Well, anyways, back to the stories. When my mom passed away, may she rest in peace, things started happening a lot more. A lot of the activity actually picked up to the point where the entire vibe of the room changed. Oh, of the house, but especially my parents' room, which is now my room, my husband's room too, obviously. Pero like it's just so much sadness. You know, if you stay in that room for far too long, you start to get depressed. You start to get, you know, suicidal. Um, if you stay there too long. We tried, you know, disconnecting all of the electricity, thinking maybe high EMF, but that didn't work. That just left us without TV and without light, but you know, the feelings are still there. We weren't getting headaches, we weren't getting anything. It was just basically the feeling of sadness and hopelessness, and you know, it's very, very sad, negative. Um, when my mom did pass away, we also noticed that my dad and I would fight a lot more, and it was just, we would snap like that, both of us, and that led for me to, you know, marry at a very young age. Thank goodness I found a good man. Um, but I did move out. And when I did move out, my dad did say that activity got even worse, to the point where he felt somebody lay next to him at night, almost on a daily, I would say. And then there was one night in particular where he said that le jalaron los pies, like somebody pulled on his feet, and he scoot down a little bit, not much, but enough where he's like, whoa, you know. And yeah, no, he moved. He went to Mexico. He's living over there. We did rent this place for a few years, and now we're back. However, on the other side, I had other friends that came here who just felt very heavy. The heavy vibes, very creeped out for no explanation, especially the back room. Nobody likes the back room. Nobody likes it. Every time somebody would come in, they'd stare at the back room and just, you know, have a feeling that somebody was watching them or standing in the doorway, or, you know, it's just unexplainable. So that is, I think, pretty much it for part one of what goes on in my house. So if you see my first video that I actually uploaded, that's actually from my living room. If you see the orbs, or you know, the dust, also there's dust in there, but there are a few that look like orbs and a flash of light. I don't remember 1 minute, but it is in the description. But it is, the flash is on the wall. There is no anything, as you can see. We don't have anything that creates any type of light or anything. So I don't know what that flash was, or what keeps appearing, or what could it be, you know. I don't know. However, I am going to continue to investigate my house a little bit more. things are seeming like they seem like they're picking up a little bit with my investigations and with the questions that I'm asking. So if you've seen my first video and you notice all the orbs starting to happen a lot more when I talk about this subject, and that flash appeared during that subject that I was speaking of, comment it in the bottom. I don't want to say it. But I do feel like it's not nothing negative that is here. Well, maybe there's something negative and something positive. You know, it kind of balances out, because there's days where I literally can't be here. And if you know me personally, you know that I'm a person that does not get spooked easily. I do not spook easily. I think the only times I've been spooked have been here in my house and in Mount Madonna ruins, and that is it. Other than that, so far, no. So I really do hope you guys send me some really creepy locations. I really like getting spooked, just not here in my house, you know, like this is my house. This is supposed to be my safe place. Pero bueno, that's all for part 1. I'll see you next time, hopefully tomorrow. Bye y'all. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to comment. If you have been to my house and you've had experiences, please comment them at the bottom. If you've been to my house recently, comment in part 2, not this one. Bye y'all.